Expedition 33 might be considered the peak RPG of the decade. But 20 years ago, I fell in love with a game everyone else absolutely hated. And this is Blade Dancer Lineage of Light in the PSP. In 2006, critics called it a mediocre and flawed game. But back then, I didn't care much about reviews and I just thought that the game looked cool. I mean, look at the box art of this game. Looks absolutely sick. Now that it's 20 years later and playable on PS5, I'm going back to see if my childhood was a lie and find out if this game is actually a hidden masterpiece or is it as bad as they say. Blade Dancer is a game with a distinct mix of RPG, anime, and connections as far as Harry Potter. Wait, I'll get to that.
Wicked!
Even though it's an old game, I find it endlessly replayable. It has a cozy and relaxing vibe to it whenever I'm playing. Its warm music and atmosphere helps elevate the experience. It's definitely the game I play after work so that I can just relax and have a good time while listening to some podcasts. With that, we have to begin with the story. We have our protagonist Lance, the chosen one, destined to become the Blade Dancer. With his determination and help from his friends, must defeat the Dark Lord and restore peace to the kingdom. Across your journey, you're gonna come across allies that will aid you in your quest. First is Gozin, a stoic and reliable Zarkan warrior with a thirst for battle. Someone who will definitely not leave you on your first boss fight.
You know what? He just left.
Next is Phyllis, a kind and bubbly healer that helps the team by providing as much needed support as possible. And Tess, a mysterious entity with a very questionable past. Someone who will definitely not leave us in the final boss battle. And together, it is up to us to save whatever is left of the world. So, why should you play this game? For me, one of the primary things that I look for in an RPG is the battle system. And I'd say that Blade Dancer has a very unique combat system. The combat starts when we encounter a skull. Unlike traditional turn-based games like Pokemon or Persona, where the battle pauses when the player takes the time to pick skills, Blade Dancer incorporates a semi-active battle system called the Lunar Clock, where time moves forward regardless if the player doesn't take any action. This means if you take your time to select your skills, the enemy will attack you. Advancing further into the game, we encounter more dangerous skulls that chase us that eventually combine with other skulls, forming into a much stronger unit. The first time I saw this, it really surprised me in a way I haven't seen before. At the top is the Lunameter, which exists to act as a unified pool of mana for the party, enemies included, meaning all participants of the battle can use portions of the Lunameter. This, alongside the Lunar Clock, made the battles fresh, and I got really invested in becoming better till I mastered the combat. Then we have crafting. For a PSP game, I wasn't really expecting a lot, so I was surprised to see that there was a full-fledged crafting that includes weapons, armor, and potions. This system really helps you out a lot, especially when starting out, since gold can be quite scarce. The game wouldn't be that fun if the places we explore aren't very interesting. Thankfully, it has plenty of places to explore so that it doesn't feel repetitive. From calm green fields with the most relaxing music in the game, claustrophobic maze towers that I got lost in a dozen times, filled with magical lizards, to dragon-infested volcanoes that kinda looks like Mordor if I'm being honest. While I love the nostalgia and calm atmosphere of this game, it's not without its frustrations. For a 2006 PSP game, it has a noticeable lack of quality of life, especially when comparing it to modern games. When getting quests, you will immediately notice that there is a lack of information that tells you where something is. It doesn't highlight the map. No helpful HUD that tells you where something is. All there is the location and that's it. It's a case of stumbling around, talking to everyone, and writing everything in your notes. The more you explore, the more you get familiar with the towns and NPCs, the better your experience will be. Not engaging in exploration will lead to a feeling of wasted time if you get lost, not knowing what to do. The absence of a quest tracker also proves to be problematic whenever I forgot what I was doing and didn't write it down. So, it's frustrating when I leave the game for a week and then forgot where I was supposed to go. Since discovery and exploration is a key aspect of the game, I would say that it would have been great if there was a run mechanic implemented within the game, because you can only walk at base speed. And yes, you can't just teleport from one place to another. And since backtracking from previous places is a major part of this game, you will be walking a lot. But there's a good news. After some time, you'll be able to unlock a fast travel system, but this doesn't appear until the very end of the game. This game also doesn't have an autosave feature, which means if you quit your game without saving, your progress will be lost. Which happened to me, where I lost a couple of hours of my progress because I just keep forgetting about saving. Talk about a bummer, man. And finally, the thing that breaks my heart the most is the ending. I'm now going to spoil the end of the story of the game, so consider yourself warned. Spoilers. As we reach the final boss, definitely taken from the inspiration of Voldemort, Sephiroth, and Orochimaru combined, Tess eventually leaves the party and joins the Dark Lord. Now, all that is left is for the final boss fight. And after defeating him, we are now greeted by lines of texts concluding the game, and followed by a roll of credits. But ultimately, what saddens me the most is its potential. Its sequel could improve what it's lacking in the first place and make improvements that made the game frustrating. It could expand on its strengths and make the story more memorable, but it's wishful thinking at this point. The reason why this game is so important to me is that I've never played any other turn-based RPGs before. So, as I play this one, my imagination just wandered about where I can go next and what skills I'm going to learn. But just like that, the game is finished, with its story left open forever. But if I'm being honest, the things that I've listed down as cons are just minor inconveniences at best, and shouldn't detract you from playing this game, as I've realized that the faults that I gave this game could all be boiled down to a simple case of immersion. Yes, the game is not perfect, but those faults later grew on me and kind of forgot about them since. The game has a difficulty spike, but it's not as hard as other games like Fear and Hunger that can be unfair at times. Blade Dancer is always at the back of my mind whether I play other games. It really forces me to interact with its content in a manner that could be tedious but rewarding. From an outside perspective, it might seem that backtracking and crafting in this game sounds tedious and boring. For situations like these, I just find myself relaxing by listening to a podcast. This turns a repetitive in-game tasks into my comforting ritual. It's a nice change of pace, with getting familiar with the game enough to a point that I don't really need to think about what I need to do. This sort of familiarity turns the game into a soothing retreat whenever things in my life become too stressful. And maybe that is why I love this game. I was only 14 when I played this game, and turning 28 this year kinda makes me realize how the memories I had while playing the game turned into something precious. The further you move along from those moments, the more comforting it is to return to them. It feels like a reunion or a way of coming home. In this stressful age, maybe a blanket of nostalgia is what we really need. And yeah, that's about it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video as I've enjoyed making it. And thank you so much for watching till the very end. If you have any games that you recommend or topics I should discuss, drop them down below. A like and subscribe would also help me out a lot. See ya and take care.